Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to a beautiful venue filled with beautiful people. The 69th Annual Arkansas Alumni Awards Celebration has begun, and we are so glad you're here. This year's celebration event ushers in several changes, including, as you can see, an enlarged venue, as well as presenting sponsor Fidelity Investments. A special thank you to all our sponsors and Fidelity Investments for their participation, as we recognize very special individuals at this year's event. Every year, attendees leave this event. If you've been here with us before, you know that they leave this event with a stronger sense of pride regarding the achievements of alumni you'll hear from, faculty, friends of the University of Arkansas. We know you'll find this evening to be an unforgettable experience, and we've already had a great start. During World War II, the activities of the Arkansas Alumni Association, like many others in the country, were put on hold. In an effort to boost university morale, association leaders created the first Alumni Award, the Citation of Distinguished Alumni, to honor the achievements of outstanding graduates. In the intervening years, the awards have grown to include recognition of service, loyalty, and faculty achievement, as well as personal and professional success. Tonight, we honor 11 alumni, friends, and faculty who are the University of Arkansas's star achievers. Now, each of you in this room is special to each one of the recipients, special to the university, special to your families. And you all certainly deserve an introduction. But with your understanding, we're going to limit introductions to those who are directly involved in the presentations, with a couple of exceptions. One exception is that for the first time in many years, we have a majority of the Alumni Association Board of Directors members with us tonight, and I'd like them just to, you don't have to stand because you've taken all that time to see, but just wave your hands and let them know where you are. We moved our board meeting to this weekend so that the majority of our board members could be in town to experience this great event. The other exception is if you have received an alumni award in the past, we'd love to have you stand and be recognized. Former Alumni Association award winners, faculty award winners, if you would mind standing and being recognized. So now it is time to begin our first series of awards before we enjoy dinner. It's always awkward when you're sitting there looking at your salad for this entire time. So we're going to ask you to eat your salads, but do so without any utensils so that you won't make any noise. Or you can use your fork, but just do it quietly. That would be great. So you may begin with your salads during this section of the awards. The Arkansas Alumni Association Award presentations recognize significant personal, professional, or volunteer achievement. Each award is accompanied by an individualized recognition piece. Let's go to the first award. The Andrew J. Lucas Alumni Service Award recognizes exceptional service by alumni on behalf of the university and the Alumni Association. The award was named in honor of Andy Lucas, class of 1959, as one who exemplifies exceptional service. He is a former Alumni Association editor, assistant director, and interim executive director, and for 3 decades provided loyal and dedicated service to his alma mater. We are delighted that Andy is with us tonight. Andy, please stand and be recognized. Tonight we are presenting this award to 2 brothers whose lives have been touched by music and education for as long as they can remember. As a result, Bill Woolley and David Woolley have spent more than 30 years helping the University of Arkansas bands improve their musical, educational, and entertainment value. The Woolley brothers were raised on the campus of the Arkansas School for the Blind in Little Rock, where their parents were administrators and teachers. Influenced by summer music camp, Bill became a drum major for the Razorback Marching Band and a percussionist in the concert band. 4 years younger, David remembers his brother standing in the living room wearing his band uniform, and he couldn't wait to join the band, playing trumpet in both the marching and concert bands. Both gentlemen received the Outstanding Bandsman and Directors Awards, participated in National Intercollegiate Band, and served on the student band staff. After graduation, Bill embarked on a 30-year career as an educator in the Little Rock School District and the Arkansas Department of Education, retiring in 1997. Similarly, David's career in public service has spanned more than 40 years with the Alma School District, where he was appointed superintendent in 2011. His most significant accomplishments include the formation of the Alma Education and Arts Foundation and the building of a $12 million Alma Performing Arts Center. The Woolley brothers, in combination with the Razorback Band Alumni Association Films, have made significant contributions to the Razorback Band. They created RBAA Films in 1970 with the primary purpose of providing film and photography services to the University of Arkansas Band's program. For more than 30 years, the brothers have filmed, photographed, and edited footage from university concerts, rehearsals, and Razorback marching band performances. Bill and David have also contributed to numerous other initiatives at the university, including the Eldon Jansen and Sanford Tollett Band Award, the Razorback Band Development Fund, Alma School District Summer Music Camp, and the Arkansas Alumni Association Scholarship Fund. They worked tirelessly to create the Razorback Band Alumni Society during the campaign for the 21st century. Bill currently serves on the society board, while David is an emeritus board member. Additionally, both men are life members of the Arkansas Alumni Association and have belonged to the Chancellor's Society for more than 10 years. In 2005, they were recognized as Towers of Old Main, the university's most prestigious giving club. You may or may not be aware that Bill and David have focused on two specific projects they believe will enhance the band experience and help cultivate the next generation of standout students. The first one is the Max and Kathleen Woolley Graduate Assistantship, named for their parents, which provides funding for graduate assistants and recognition of their outstanding leadership potential. The second is the Razorback Band Alumni Association Awards Fund, which provides funding for class gifts for band students to celebrate their years of service. One of these gifts is a ring that is presented to every senior band member. Bill and David, because this tradition of class gifts wasn't around when you were in the band, I'd like to invite Chris Knighton, Director of Bands, to join me on stage for a special presentation. And Bill and David, will you please also join me on stage? Bill and David Woolley. If you haven't figured it out, they got no idea this is going to happen. So. You want to say anything, Chris? Okay. You want just
Sure.
go ahead.
On behalf of the Razorback Band program and all of our students, we'd like to thank the Woolleys for their contributions of so many years of time and talent and leadership. They are making a very real difference in not only the experiences for our students, but the recruitment and retention of our program as well. We're also able to show our students performances and play performances for them with audio and video recordings. And because of their help and their contributions, we're able to do these things. So we'd like to return the favor with what we consider our senior ring, with a custom-made ring for each of them.
Awesome. That's great.
Appreciate it.
So these are the only guys that walk away with two prizes tonight. We can't forget that they are here to accept the Andrew J. Lucas Service Award, so they have time to talk. I'm going to go over here and grab the awards, and we'll get some pictures, but please welcome Bill and David Woolley.
You know, you don't often get surprised by something like that, but gee, this is quite an honor. Well, thank you, Graham. It's been 42 years since I was an undergraduate here on campus. I've lived in Alma all of that time, which made it very convenient for me to be up here whenever I wanted to, and including doing all my graduate work here. Gave me the pleasure of driving old 71 and enjoying those wonders way too many times. But had I not lived relatively closely to Fayetteville, it would have been a lot more difficult for me to do the things I did. Bill and I were fortunate to grow up having parents that believed in hard work and believed in being involved. And I don't have any doubt that that's where my beliefs in volunteerism originated. I think it's very important that a person give of themselves. For many of us in this room, it's sometimes easier to write the check than it is to carve out time in our lives to be personally involved in something that we believe strongly in. But although that financial support is certainly important, so is personal involvement in a cause that's important to you. It doesn't really matter what that cause is. It may be the Boy Scouts, it may be a religious organization, or it certainly may be higher education. But whatever it is, the important thing is not only to write the check, but to be personally involved in helping your cause to be as good as it can be. I don't recall that I ever made a conscious decision 42 years ago to begin doing video work for the band. It just kind of happened. Bill was already out of school and started doing some of those things. And quite honestly, we've always considered it an honor and a great privilege and a great opportunity to have the chance to continue to be involved with an organization that was very important in our lives and very, very meaningful to us. Is what we do hard work? Sometimes. Do we get cold and wet? Yep. Do we get tired? Well, more so now than when we were 30 years old. Is it always fun? Well, honestly, no. But the rewards of knowing that we've played a small part in helping many thousands of university band members to achieve excellence and to reap the benefits of being in that organization and all it means to them and their success in life is very important and makes all those other things unimportant. In more recent years, I certainly have made a strong effort to seek out other ways and every way possible to be involved with the university. My involvement in the last few years in the development division and in Fulbright College have become just as important to me as my involvement with the band. We're all very aware of the transformation of the university in recent years, and it's so rewarding to have been a part of something that is so life-changing to so many young people. It's gratifying to me to have had so many opportunities to give back to the university. There's no doubt that the university played the major role in whatever successes I've had in life. And it's a large part of the reason why I do what I do. And in no way am I finished. I hope that additional avenues of service to the university will come my way in the coming years, and I'm sure they will. My heartfelt thanks go certainly to the university and to the Alumni Association for this honor. It's humbling to receive this recognition when I know that there are many hundreds of people, including everyone in this room, that works just as hard for the university as I do. But nonetheless, it's been a wonderful event, and I'm very grateful for it. Thank you.
Well, I had the easy part. David wrote his comments first and showed them to me, so I just had to figure out what I needed to say that he didn't cover. First, I want to tell you, I echo completely everything he said. Service, my father was a member of a Lions Club for 50 years, and Lions' motto was "We serve," and it started there. But it's very gratifying to me to support this university and the band program and see the results. The significant changes and improvements in the band program and the university that can be directly traced to the campaign for the 21st century is just terrific. Our family owes a lot to the university. Our father was a Hendrix graduate, but when he wanted a master's degree in education, he came here in the early 40s. Our older brother, Jim, followed in 1958. In all, 10 of our family members have earned 7 undergraduate degrees and 8 graduate degrees, and I hope the string is not ended. Grandchildren Haven and Ethan, did you hear that? From 1958 to 1972, one of the 3 of us was marching with the Razorback Band and playing in a concert band with Dr. Richard Worthington and Mr. Eldon Jansen as our mentors. Most of the time, we were involved in leadership of some sort, and those 2 directors gave us the opportunity to learn stuff that you just don't learn in the classroom, right, Don Bobbitt? There's just so much of it you can't get there, and if students aren't involved in other things, they're missing out. In '67, when I graduated, I had a 35mm camera and a 2¼ film camera, and I started taking pictures, slides, in black and whites, so Dr. Worthington would have publicity material and the slides to use to review the band show so he could see what the stands were saying. one thing led to another. We bought a 16-millimeter sound camera that must have weighed 50 pounds, and we moved it to the games and shot them and had a great time. The cameras have all changed. Video is much better. It doesn't cost what a small car cost, and it's easier to do. But why were we doing this? Well, you're thinking, those guys must be crazy to have done this all these years, and all you get is a thank you. Well, that's enough. Our family has degrees from this university in journalism, family and consumer science, interior design, art, business, engineering, music, and 11 in education. Now that ought to tell you right there. We have an interest in promoting everything, not just the band, and now I'm going to be preaching instead of teaching. There are 350 students in the Razorback Band program. Only 25% of them are music majors. The rest of them are from every place on this campus, every place. Not just the easy stuff. There are chemical engineers and structural engineers and ag folks, everything. And the grade point average last spring for the entire band, all 350 or thereabouts of them, the average was better than a 3.2. Now, I challenge you to find any other group on campus that's as eclectic as the band is that has that kind of a grade point average. The band provides good musicians with scholarship money that come from band resources, and those students are not always music majors. So the band program is not only benefiting the students, but it's benefiting the entire university by bringing in really top quality students to all of your programs. In summary, the audio and video provides the directors with the evaluation and review materials and video and audio recordings for recruiting. It also provides the current students with audition materials when they're trying to find jobs in music down the way. And it gives them material that tells them they were part of the U of A when they were here, that they can go back and look at. I want to thank some individuals quickly. First, Don King, who worked with us for 40 years. We could not have accomplished what we did. Unfortunately, Don died of cancer 2 years ago. I want to thank our wives and Don's wife, Beth. They allowed us to go and be gone. We don't play golf, we don't go fishing, we don't go deer hunting. Our hobby was Razorback Band. Also, our children. I can't tell you how many times my children and David's children and Don's children worked for free because we said, we need you, you're going with us. And I want to thank Louis Epley and Dina Wood and probably some others that I don't know for a well-timed nomination. And that's an inside joke if you don't get it. Also, finally, thank the Alumni Association for this honor, but I want to tell you, it was fun. The band kids are the best. They're smart, they're hardworking, they're fun to be around, and when it's time to have fun, they have fun, and the directors are the same. They're very intelligent, hardworking folks that really care about the band, and I'm proud to have an opportunity and that they've allowed me the opportunity to do what I've done. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce the president of the Arkansas Alumni Association, John Reap, to present this next award. John, will you please approach the podium? John has as much passion in his pinky as most people have for the Razorbacks, and we're so pleased to have such a dedicated volunteer who's made it his mission during his tenure to build pride for the university, bring awareness to all the wonderful things we do at the association, as well as the accomplishments of students, faculty, and alumni. Please, let's hear it for John Reap.
Thank you, Graham. I want to extend my word of welcome to all of you on behalf of the board of the Arkansas Alumni Association. This is our premier event. This is the big one for us, and we're so proud to be able to put this on. I know there's a lot of people out here that have been to this for many, many times, many, many years. This is my 8th one. And for a lot of us, this is as important, as big, as enriching an event as there is on this campus. So we thank you for being here. The Community Service Award was established to spotlight the contributions of alumni that alumni make to humankind through volunteer or professional services in their communities. Time and time again, Gene Fortson has demonstrated consistent leadership and volunteerism through his outstanding professional career and valuable community service. He's been involved in public service and government all of his adult life, including working as a legislative liaison for both the banking industry and the insurance industry. The majority of his business career has been in the banking industry and in manufacturing. Early in his career, his boss created an environment that inspired him to get involved in community service and to put something back into the community where he lived and worked. During his 20-year affiliation with Worthing Bank and Trust Company, the North Little Rock native served in a variety of executive assignments where he successfully led sales and communication efforts. In all positions, he was an advocate for community service, support of low-income loan programs, and dozens of special projects to aid the Little Rock community. During this time, he also was the Senior Vice President of Worthing's holding company, First Arkansas Bank Stock Corporation. There he gained national recognition as one of the leading bank marketing executives in America. Beginning in 1987, he served 13 years as President and Chief Executive Officer of Stebbins & Roberts, Inc., a major paint manufacturer and distribution enterprise in 9 states in the Southwest. Throughout this time, he actively worked to have employees and customers active in civic improvements and donated thousands of gallons of supplies to advance civic beautification. He has been a member of the City of Little Rock Board of Directors since 2006, serving as Vice Mayor from 2010 to 2012. Gene has played a vital role in stabilizing finances, gaining tax relief, and improving city services. He was a key leader in the development of Clinton National Airport and is past chairman of the Little Rock Airport Commission. His list of community service goes on to include past board member of the Arkansas Alumni Association Board of Directors and an A+ life member, past treasurer of the Greater Little Rock Regional Chamber of Commerce, and service as a chamber director over a cumulative 10 years. Appointed by then Governor Bill Clinton as a founding trustee of Pulaski Technical College. Former 2-term chairman of the Board of Trustees at St. Vincent's Infirmary Medical System with 18 years on the board. Former chairman of the Centers for Youth and Families. Past member of the Board of Directors of the Little Rock branch of the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. Trustee of the City Education Trust, providing scholarships to Little Rock High School graduates, and among other organizations, service as a board member of the American Red Cross Arkansas Chapter United Way of Pulaski County, National Bank Marketing Association, National Association of Bank Holding Companies. In 2005, he and his wife established the Donald Eugene and Gail C. Fortson Endowed Honors College Academy Scholarship within the Sam M. Walton College of Business to provide financial aid to students in the Honors College. We are honored to present this award to a dedicated servant of the Little Rock community and the state. Gene, will you please come forward to accept the Community Service Award? And as Gene comes up, I have a point of personal privilege. I've known Gene for many years, a family friend, my father's. Just some bullet points that I wanted to add to the comments, prepared comments. And when I think of Gene Fortson, I think of public servant, a multitasker, a businessman, a man that is obsessed with common sense and reasoning, and above all else, a true gentleman. Gene Fortson.
Thank you very much, John. As John mentioned, we have been friends for a long time, friends with his family. And the only comment I might make is sometimes when people move to Texas, as John did some years ago, they get inflicted with a Texas disease. They tend to exaggerate. And while I appreciate all your kind comments, John, Perhaps some of them may have gone a little over the top. It's obviously an honor to be here, and I appreciate very much the Alumni Association Award. You know, like a lot of people who live in Arkansas, I have the opportunity to be back on this campus on a regular basis. Football games, basketball games, various meetings, and virtually every time I come, I go down memory lane, like so many of you, to revisit Senior Walk and remember all of the things we learned while we were here. It's an educational institution preparing young men and women for the future with the academic skills they'll need. A lot of us grew up here. A lot of us were turned into mature adults, while some of us were maybe kicking and screaming, dragged into maturity, but it was an experience that has lived with all of us. And it was really on this campus that I learned the value of contributing. I learned a little bit about politics. I never ran for office up here, but I participated in some campaigns. And it really was not until late in life that insanity overtook me and I did run for public office. I also learned a little bit about giving, working in such community activities on the campus as the Fun of Gabelee, as well as serious contribution causes that were often part of what we did. I spent 1 year as managing editor of the Razorback and learned what punitive public service can mean with all the hours that involved. But actually, those years were great memories that all of us cherish when we come back, and it provides a basis for what happens in later life. But coming back to this campus for this occasion got me to thinking yesterday about the larger picture, what the many thousands of alumni who have come from this school have done both in education, in business, in the professions, and indeed in community service in many areas of this state and in many areas of the country, and indeed outside this country. It makes me very proud to be part of this organization. And in fact, your Alumni Association is even today going forward with promoting other community services. In fact, I just saw an email in the past couple of days entitled Helping Like a Hog, which is an alumni program designed at community service. So for whatever I have done, whatever any of us have done, our contributions to our communities, I think, the basis for those were formed on this campus and have been part of our life going forward. And looking around and being at this dinner makes me very proud and humble to accept this. And for this honor, I'm extremely grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Gene. And now our final award before dinner. The Young Alumni Award, established in 2000, honors the significant professional accomplishments of alumni who are 40 years of age or under, a segment that represents more than half of our living alumni. Is that hard to believe? Yeah. Recipients are alumni who, in the short time since graduation, have achieved extraordinary things. In just 7 years since graduation, Brandy Tuft has accomplished more than some do in their entire lives. The first person in her family to receive a college degree, her aspirations began as a young girl who always knew she wanted to be a Razorback. Her high school accounting teacher piqued her interest in that field, even creating an accounting to self-study class just for her, accounting to self-study class just for her. She is currently an assurance manager for Ernst & Young, where she is the lead manager on multinational Fortune 1 clients with annual revenues in excess of $450 billion. She's responsible for various areas such as accounts receivable, inventory, and title and entity-level controls, vendor allowances, and lease accounting, just to name a few. She directly manages and supervises senior-level accountants and internal auditors on multiple engagements. Through her work, she has traveled to some amazing places like Australia, Costa Rica, and the United Kingdom to participate in programs. She was selected for a secondment, a type of exchange program, to Perth, Australia in the summer of 2010. This prized assignment within Ernst & Young was a reflection of talent and future as a global leader at the company. Her ultimate goal is to make partner at Ernst & Young. A member of the Alumni Association, Brandy says that being a U of A student gave her the self-confidence to deserve a job at a Big Four public accounting firm, and says her time at the university was absolutely one of the best times of her life. She is also active in the Northwest Arkansas community, volunteering her time with Big Brothers Big Sisters, Single Parent Scholarship Fund, United Way, Northwest Arkansas Head Start, Special Olympics, and the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. We're proud to present the Alumni Association's Young Alumni Award to Brandy Tuft. Brandy?
Thank you so much. When I received the phone call that I was chosen to receive this award, Norm Prestige and Don Eldred, whom were delivering the news to me, can attest that I was 100% speechless, which I don't think has ever occurred at any other time in my life. I was trying to get my head around what Don was telling me, and I honestly thought at first that I was dreaming. I had just come off a rough, busy season, even by public accounting standards, and I was receiving this amazing and very humbling news about this award. As I've had time to let it sink in, I've realized this award is so much bigger than me, and it represents more than just my accomplishments in community service. It's also for those people that have supported me and touched my life. First and foremost, I want to thank God, because without Him, I am nothing. I would like to thank the Alumni Board for considering me worthy of this honor, and the Alumni Association for this opportunity and the wonderful events of this weekend. I would also like, of course, to thank the University of Arkansas, my professors and counselors who provided me with such a great education and the opportunity to give back. I'd like to thank my mom, who from the time I could understand told me I would be the first person in my family to graduate with a college degree and fulfill my dreams, even when that meant letting her only child move 4 hours away from home at the age of 18. To my amazing husband, who really does put up with all my craziness, the long hours and the late nights, he is always by my side, supports me unconditionally, and is my biggest cheerleader. To Steve, my stepdad, who helped raise me and forced me into being this strong, independent, and most often sassy adult. To my family, my Mimi and my grandfather, who are looking down smiling right now. My grandmother, my Aunt Lee, my dad, Lorette, William, and my in-laws, Shirley and Alan. I really am beyond blessed with an amazing family and a support system. You have no idea the inspiration you give me on a daily basis, and I will always strive to make them proud of me. To my high school accounting teacher, Miss Elizabeth Thompson, who did create a self-study Accounting 2 program. I think they thought I was a little crazy, but it's turned out well. To my family at EY, we are truly one big dysfunctional family, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm so lucky to have such an amazing team and amazing people by my side. To Heath, who took me under his wing from the time I was an intern and has tried, notice I put the emphasis on tried, to teach me everything he knows. To Norm and Khaki, who go out on a limb to help develop and support me, and oftentimes see more in me than I even see in myself. Lastly, but certainly not least, I thank the organizations in which I'm involved for allowing me to serve. I truly have become a much better person by giving back to my community. My life has been forever changed by these organizations. Therefore, I'll leave you with a quote from Winston Churchill that has always been important to me, and I think truly the spirit of this award. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Thank you.
Amazing people, aren't they? And they're great so far. Thank you. Well, as you know, there's more to come, but right now, we're going to take a break for dinner and resume shortly. Enjoy your meal, and really, you have to enjoy the delightful musical offerings of the trio here, the Claudia Burson Trio, who we're so lucky to have tonight. So, thank you guys for being here. Enjoy your meals. We'll be back in a little bit. How was dinner? Was it good? Boy, oh boy. Well done, folks. Thank you. Thank you. Well done, Jay. Thank you again to the Claudia Burson Trio for providing our outstanding dinner music. Claudia, Steve, Drew. Now we're happy to begin our faculty awards. Last year, the Arkansas Alumni Association began a new tradition of including the university's premier award, the Charles and Nadine Baum Faculty Teaching Award, as part of our annual faculty recognition. Here to present the Baum Award is the university's Chief Academic Officer, Provost, and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Sharon Gaber. Sharon?
In 1997, the Charles and Nadine Baum Faculty Teaching Award was established. The $5,000 award recognizes a faculty member for outstanding teaching. Tonight, we're pleased to present this prestigious award to Dr. Manuel Rossetti, Professor of Industrial Engineering, the John L. Imhoff Endowed Chair, and the Director for the Center of Excellence in Logistics and Distribution. Dr. Rossetti completed his doctorate in Industrial and Systems Engineering at The Ohio State University in 1992. He joined the University of Arkansas faculty in August 1999. Teaching both undergraduate and graduate courses, Dr. Rossetti is an internationally known researcher in the field of industrial engineering. Dr. Rossetti identifies and solves problems within the fields of logistics, manufacturing, and healthcare. His primary research and teaching interests include the design, analysis, and optimization of logistics, manufacturing, healthcare, and transportation systems using computer simulation and operations research techniques. He served as an investigator on 47 projects totaling more than $4.5 million in research grants. He was the sole investigator for 19 projects totaling more than $980,000 in grants, and the primary investigator for 40 projects totaling more than $3.1 million in grants. He's also co-authored or authored 37 research reports. Dr. Rossetti has been named Outstanding Teacher by the Industrial Engineering Department 3 times. He was voted Best Teacher by undergraduate students twice. He received the John L. Imhoff College of Engineering Outstanding Teacher Award in 2011, and he was elected a Fellow for the Institute of Industrial Engineering in 2012. Dr. Rossetti says he finds it rewarding when a student has that aha moment, or when he sees a former student at graduation or later in their career and they know that they have put the pieces together. I'm told that he tells people outside of the state of Arkansas what a jewel Arkansas is. And tonight, we're pleased to present this award to a real jewel in the College of Engineering. Dr. Rossetti, please come forward to accept the Charles and Nadine Baum Faculty Teaching Award.
Thank you, Sharon. I'm really humbled and honored by this award. Most of the events that inspire someone to become a teacher are so numerous that I don't want to relate those. But there was one event in my life that inspired me to be a better teacher. And in particular, I was at a teaching workshop at another university, not this one, okay? So make sure you remember that. And one of the speakers, or one of the folks that was sort of mentoring folks at the workshop, was in the engineering college. And in order to become a tenured professor in engineering, you have to do a bunch of research, and teaching is not necessarily your main passion. So it's publish or perish. And his advice for us to be successful educators was to not have any chairs in your office. Now, why wouldn't you want to have chairs in your office? Because you might have students come in, and they might sit in your chairs, and you might have to spend a lot of time with those students. So that inspired me to be a better teacher. I have 4 chairs in my office. And the key thing that I learned about that is if you get a student to your office, they are the most important person in the world while they are there. I learned that little fact from our former and dearly departed chairman who hired me at the University of Arkansas, Dr. Rick Malmstrom. He had that presence with somebody that you knew you were the most important person, and he was instrumental in bringing me to the University of Arkansas. When I came here, I had the questions that were natural, which was, why Arkansas? Do they wear shoes in Arkansas? So when I got here, they sealed the deal by giving me some Razorback Beanie Babies, okay, to take home to my children, and I was hooked. So I want to thank my family for their great support through all the years. As I mentioned, Dr. Rick Malmstrom, Dr. John White, who was instrumental in putting together my nomination packet. Also, Dr. Kim Needy, who creates such a great atmosphere in our department to make us all be better educators. She's really a joy to work for. I also want to thank the Alumni Association for this great honor, the Charles and Nadine Baum family for their support of the university, and in particular, I finally want to thank the students who make it a joy to be here at this university. Thank you.
Well known to all Razorbacks, our next presenter really needs no introduction. Chancellor and alumnus, Dr. G. David Gerhardt, JD 1978, EDD 1989, will present the Alumni Association's Faculty Distinguished Achievement Awards. Chancellor?
Thank you very much. Good evening. 51 years ago, the Arkansas Alumni Association first honored faculty achievements in 2 areas which define land-grant education: research and public service. In that period, 152 professors have been honored. The names of previous recipients read like a who's who of the faculty. Tonight, we add 2 more prominent educators for public service and research, along with another educator who will receive the first ever Rising Teaching Award. These awards also carry a $5,000 cash prize. First, we would like to recognize our Faculty Award recipient for public service, Dr. Cheryl Murphy. Fresh out of graduate school at West Virginia University, Dr. Murphy joined the University of Arkansas faculty in 1996. She interviewed with several institutions in several states, but says that Arkansas just felt right. 17 years later, she's an associate professor and program coordinator of educational technology in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction. A member of the Arkansas Alumni Association, she also serves as the Director of Distance Education for the university's College of Education and Health Professions. As the director, she oversees policy development, data gathering, compliance, strategic planning, quality assurance, and faculty and student support. Dr. Murphy is also a distance learning consultant and a consultant peer reviewer with the Higher Learning Commission of the North Central Association. She is active in 8 national and international professional organizations, and locally she serves on course evaluation committees, teaching council, and distance education task forces, just to name a few. It is evident that Dr. Murphy believes service work is vital to the success of any university, to the students, and to the community. She views service as one of the fun and exciting ways faculty contribute to the university and society as a whole. She believes those who participate in service activities are just as rewarded as those for whom the service is being performed. Dr. Murphy, in honor of your dedication, would you please come to the stage to accept the Faculty Distinguished Achievement Award for Public Service?
Good evening, and thank you so much. You know it's a dangerous thing to give a professor a microphone, but I'll try to be brief. I'd like to share a quote with you that seems appropriate for this moment. Quote, "If we should be blessed by some great reward, is it the fruit of a seed planted in the past?" This quote has inspired me to talk about horticulture this evening. No, I'm not a horticulturalist, but I am a professor, which is like the effect of staying at a Holiday Inn, only times 1,000. In other words, we think we know a little bit of everything about everything. So let's talk about horticulture. And horticulture involves the planting and the cultivation of seeds. And now I'm going to talk about how that relates to service, which is what I'm being awarded for here today. When we consult Merriam-Webster, and we always like to turn to the dictionary, we find that service is defined as the action of helping or doing work for someone, contributing to the welfare of others, and an act of assistance. In other words, it's about helping and giving to others. And when I consider this, I am both humbled and greatly honored to receive recognition for helping and giving to others. And then I ask myself, if this award for service is the fruit of a seed planted in the past, who planted it, and how has it been cultivated? And I think about my roots. I grew up in rural Appalachia, in a relatively poor area where a lot of people needed a lot of help. But my mom didn't discuss the need to help and to give back to others. As kids, my sisters and I, we didn't get lectures on being of service to others. The seeds of service for me were not planted in that way. Instead, as kids, we watched intently as my mother, who at times worked 3 jobs to make ends meet, always gave selflessly of her time, knowledge, and what little money we had to help others. She modeled for us and continues to model for us today what being of service to others is about. And that is how the seed of giving was planted in me. So thank you, Mom, who, by the way, flew in from Maryland and is in the audience tonight. Always supporting, always giving. But let's get back to horticulture. Yeah, see? As any good horticulturalist knows, it's not enough to plant a seed, it has to be cultivated. And for that, I thank this institution, who gives me the leeway and the resources I need and the support that I need for my service activities. But I'd also like to thank my partner, who is also here tonight, Tabby Holmes. For those of you who don't know Tabby, she's an amazing person who works tirelessly to help others. Whether she's putting on a race to raise money for local charities or being a play buddy for a disabled child in her free time on the weekends, her actions inspire me every day and make me want to give back. She doesn't talk about giving back, she does it. And that encourages the seeds of service in me and in everyone around her to blossom. She models what it means to be of service and makes me strive to be a better person. And for that, I cannot thank her enough. You're a great cultivator, Tabby Holmes. Thank you. Okay, now I promised everyone I'd be brief, so I'm going to go ahead and close. But I'm going to close by posing two questions, almost a homework assignment, if you will. I just can't help myself. First, I'd like for you to consider the seeds of service, the seeds of giving back. How are you planting them in others, the way that my mom did for me so many years ago? And second, how are you cultivating those seeds to ensure that they continue to grow, as my partner and this institution does for me? As Ella Cox reminds us, quote, "With every deed you are sowing a seed, though the harvest you may not see," unquote. Again, I'm extremely honored to be here tonight. Thank you very much, and go Hogs.
Wonderful job. Beautifully done. We're going to take a picture here.
The next presentation is a faculty award for research to an industrial engineer who joined the university faculty in 2005 as the Heffley Professor of Logistics and Entrepreneurship in the Department of Industrial Engineering. Dr. Russell Meller's research has been recognized nationally and internationally in the areas of warehouse design and facility layout, healthcare logistics, and the physical internet, an emerging collaborative logistics paradigm. His dedication to the field is evident through his service to the University of Arkansas and to the field of industrial engineering, and his leadership as the former director of the Center for Excellence in Logistics and Distribution has been recognized nationally and internationally. Dr. Meller directed the Center for Excellence in Logistics and Distribution, the largest United States research center in industrial engineering, from 2005 until 2013, when he passed the reins to Dr. Rossetti. Under his leadership, the center received a third 5-year term of support from the National Science Foundation, ensuring that the center would be supported through 2017. Dr. Meller, please come forward to the stage to accept the Distinguished Achievement Award for Research.
Okay. How does someone grow up and decide to become a researcher? Okay, the teacher part is easy, I think. I think it's easy to think we all have role models in our lives that teach us all about what it means to give back and to teach other people about what they know. But the research aspect is something that was cultivated in me when I was in high school. I was able to spend a summer in Greece, and I worked in a research team on a wildlife biology research project. And I was inspired to learn more and to learn everything I could about a topic. And I was so inspired, I decided to major in wildlife biology. But as you may have heard, I'm not a wildlife biologist today. And so you may have wondered why. Well, it's because I'm a first-generation college student, and every time I talked to someone about wildlife biology, they said, "Oh, that's great, but you know you'll have to get a PhD to get a job in that field." And I said, "Well, I'm never going to get a PhD, so there's no reason for me to stay in wildlife biology." But I found myself at an engineering college, and I looked around and decided, well, then I guess I'll be an engineer. And I guess it's worked out okay for me so far. I do have a passion for research, but I have a passion for teaching too. And I think the two of them are so complementary to each other that I think few people really understand that by teaching, I learned so much about what we need to do more to serve our students. And by doing research, I found out new ways that I can help our students. And so I hope that when you hear about research awards and hear about research accomplishments, you put that in context because it really is all about the teaching aspect of our university. And with that, I think I just want to move on to some thank yous. And I am internally grateful for this award, and I thank the Arkansas Alumni Association for it. And first, I'd really like to thank the folks that nominate me for this award every year. You know, I've been nominated multiple times for this. John White, who's sitting over here, you know, every year comes to me with just this enthusiasm for somehow getting me this award. And so he manages to bring my nomination package together. And Ken Needy, our department head, industrial engineer, as Manuel mentioned, just creates this incredible environment for faculty to excel. And I think the two of them, and with Terry Martin last year as interim dean, they all got behind my nomination, and I'm just amazed because I never expect to win any kind of award, because whenever I see who wins, I'm always like, they do so much more than I ever do, and so I'm always humbled by the opportunity and appreciate the nomination. And second, I'd like to thank my family, who's represented here today by my sister Kim, who traveled from Michigan, and my wife Sue. My parents, who so much wanted to be here, couldn't be here because of a family medical issue. And I know as a first-generation college student, I mean, this means the world to them to see me accomplish things that they didn't think were possible. And so with that, and I'd like to thank my wife Sue, who, you know, my family doesn't quite understand me very well because, you know, of what I do, but my wife Sue, as a degreed industrial engineer, always understands exactly what I do, but I don't know that she always understands why I do it and why I spend so much time doing it. So I appreciate her love and support, and as I've pursued this path. And lastly, I just want to thank everyone in attendance today and the other honorees. Whenever I come to these events, I come away just completely energized by the accomplishments and the great things that other people are doing. And it inspires me to set new goals for myself. And so I appreciate everyone's support tonight. Thank you very much.
Our last faculty award of this evening is presented to a professor whose early career has been seeing distinguished results. We are honored to present the Alumni Association's first ever Rising Teaching Award to Dr. Benjamin Grob Fitzgibbon, an associate professor of history and the director of programs and international relations at the University of Arkansas. Joining the faculty in 2007, he has been named the Cleveland C. Burton Professor of International Programs. As a mentor and graduate advisor, he has helped rework the graduate advising system within his department and obtained a superior reputation among his students. He is respected among his peers, who view him as an innovative and rigorous teacher in history and international relations. Dr. Grob Fitzgibbon believes that teaching takes place in the classroom only is the beginning of a student's learning experience. He strives to teach students to think critically and rationally, to write well, and to develop the appropriate tools so they can continue to learn on their own after leaving his classroom. In 2012, Dr. Grob Fitzgibbon received multiple awards, including the Mentor Award from the University of Arkansas Honors College, the Master Teacher Award from the J. William Fulbright College of Arts and Sciences, a Certificate of Appreciation for Outstanding Teaching by the Wally Cordes Teaching and Faculty Support Center, and was elected a Fellow by the University of Arkansas Teaching Academy. Now, he is in Scotland on sabbatical, is not here tonight. I offered to take the award to Scotland, but John Reap said I couldn't do that. But we do have with us tonight the Dean of the Graduate School and International Education, Dr. Todd Shields, who is going to accept this award on his behalf. Dr. Shields.
Good evening, everyone. I am actually a very poor substitute for Dr. Ben. I do not share his thick British accent, but if you could imagine that with me, I'll read to you a statement that he sent to me earlier today. It is a great honor to be presented with the Alumni Association Rising Teacher Award, one which I hope I can live up to throughout my subsequent career here at the University of Arkansas. I have given much thought to what I should say this evening, and as I sit here in Cambridge, I am reminded of what the great 20th century philosopher Bertrand Russell said of teaching when he too strolled these very paths. Quote, "The one habit of thought of real value is intellectual honesty. This virtue certainly existed not only among my friends, but among my teachers. I cannot remember any instance of a teacher resenting it when one of his pupils showed him to be in error. This is perhaps the attitude I have strived to achieve most when I am in the classroom, in my office with a student, or walking across campus in more casual conversation. Teaching is, first and foremost, about intellectual honesty, what might be better described as intellectual integrity. My teaching and the teaching of all others, I think, stems from who we are as individuals. And only by being true to ourselves can we achieve whatever success may come in the classroom. As a freshman at university, an old English teacher, a poet, told me that at heart, all the academic disciplines are trying to answer the same basic question: to discover what it is that we are doing here on this planet. The poets and novelists look at what human beings have said about themselves and their experiences. The scientists seek to discover how we in the world around us function, while the historians explore how we have lived, evolved, and changed over time. It is this inherent connectivity of all the disciplines that gives logic to the university, that provides coherence to its curriculum. It is why insights drawn from a history course can be placed alongside those from biology, while the study of political science can enhance an understanding of ecology. Good teaching, as I see it, is less about the subject matter in the classroom than it is about the authenticity of what is being delivered. I have been privileged at the University of Arkansas to interact every day with students who value above all else the intellectual honesty of which Russell spoke, who will never fail to keep their teachers on their toes, and who will accept nothing less than integrity on the part of those standing in front of the classroom. With such students, it is easy to be a good teacher, and I am grateful to the Alumni Association for recognizing my efforts. It is the students, though, who deserve the attention and any praise. Good students make good teachers, and at the University of Arkansas, I have great students. Thank you very much, Dr. Ben.
Okay, we're on the final leg. And Chancellor, if you would take me with you to Scotland, I would let you go to Scotland. And you could pay for it. It might make it a little bit different decision, but okay. Since the establishment of the Citation of Distinguished Alumni Award in 1944, 188 men and women have been honored as their alma mater's brightest achievers. In essence, this award is a Lifetime Achievement Award recognizing exceptional success. Previous CDA recipients are truly the pride of our hearts, representing the very best and brightest alumni from all professions. Tonight's first recipient certainly fits that description. Mary Ann Greenwood is well known and respected in Northwest Arkansas and beyond. Her career path was influenced by working for Gardner McNabb, a businessman in Pocahontas, her hometown. She knew she wanted to study economics and finance. As the university started a doctoral program in economics, and she attended economics classes during summer school in Mexico that sealed the deal. Attaining her doctorate and the Chartered Financial Analyst designation created the foundation for her career. Once she became a registered investment advisor, she knew her career was set. As founder, president, and investment advisor of Greenwood Associates, Inc., now known as Greenwood Gerhardt, Inc., Marianne Greenwood has managed her investment firm for more than 30 years. She takes pride in establishing a firm that has helped many people achieve financial success for themselves, their families, and their businesses, something that wasn't the norm for a woman in the South some 30 years ago. She is a member of the New York Society of Security Analysts and the National Association for Business Economics, and currently serves on the Campaign Arkansas Steering Committee, the University of Arkansas Foundation Board, the Sam M. Walton College of Business Deans Executive Advisory Board, and is a founding member of the Towers of Old Main. An A-plus life member of the Arkansas Alumni Association, she is also a member of the Investment Subcommittee for the NCAA and is involved with the Walton Arts Center Foundation, the St. Louis Federal Reserve Board, and immediate past chair of the Arkansas Economic Development Commission. She also served on the foundation boards of the Rockefeller Cancer Institute at the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences and Washington Regional Medical Center. Tonight we are proud to recognize an alumna who bleeds Razorback red. Marianne, will you please come forward to the stage to accept the citation of distinguished alumni? And as she comes forward, I'd also like to have a few comments. I've gotten to know Marianne working in the Walton College. We've had a good time and a lot of fun. When I think of Marianne, I've got about 5 or 6 qualities: smart, class, a professional, genuinely devoted to this school, and a lady who truly tells it like it is. Marianne.
Okay, time for a little levity, maybe. John, thank you very much. I want to thank the Alumni Association, the board members, the selection committee. I want to thank Sid King for nominating me. I want to thank the chancellor for being here. And I want you to know that I really am pleased to receive this honor. I did note, however, that it is the 3M Club tonight. There's Marianne, Montine, and Marty. If your name didn't start with an M, you didn't make it this year. And I congratulate the other 2 people who have this honor with me. I'd like to recognize my family. I brought a crowd this year, y'all. I wanted to have some support. I'd like to recognize my husband, Reed. He's the College of Education and Health Professions, was dean there for a number of years. My daughter, Ann, is here. My son, Robert, and his wife, Rocio, are here. I have Carolyn Crodell, my cousin, Nancy Kuntz and Colin Greenwood, a niece and nephew, and a number of others that I will claim, one of which is John Jackson. He's from Pocahontas, part of the Pocahontas Mafia that sort of takes care of the University of Arkansas. Now I want to tell you, I'm wearing a little pin tonight. It's a valedictorian medal from high school. When I moved to Pocahontas, I couldn't be the valedictorian because I was not there 4 years. And my cousin John received the medal. Yesterday, he brought it to me. I had the highest grade point, and I got to walk first, but John got the medal, so he brought it to me, and he engraved it on the back to Marianne from John, PHS 58. He said he'd taken care of it the first 55 years. I could have it the next. Okay, John, I've got it on my button. Other friends I have here, I want to thank for being here, Gary Campbell and Joanne, his wife. Gary was best man 50-some-odd years ago when Reed and I got married, and I'm delighted they're up from Fort Smith. And I'm going to take the personal privilege here and name some people. I want to thank Greenwood Gerhardt staff that are here, my partner, Brock Gerhardt, his wife Lindsay, And the table back there, Linda Batson's been with me 26 years, and that's a large part of the success I have had in business. There's another table of folks. There are other people here. I want to say Dick and Nancy Trammell. You know, Dickie Ray, as we know him in Pocahontas, part of that mafia, has been a friend a very long time. My lunch bunch, that's, you know, the good old girls that meet on Monday and solve all the problems of the world. Women have made it. We get to have a good old girls club. Sandy Edwards, who I admire so very much. John Burkhalter, his wife Penny, wonderful friends. And Charles Allen, and another 45 people that I have here. But to be recognized by your alma mater is truly an honor. It's something that you hold very special. And as I said, I do bleed Razorback red. And all of the organizations as a part of the university that one has the privilege of serving with are very special. Reed and I do have 3 degrees each from the university. Our daughter has a couple of degrees. Our daughter-in-law is going to graduate. Our son migrated off someplace else. I'd like to say that, like Justice Sotomayor, I am an ordinary person who's had the opportunity to have extraordinary events and to be part of those. The one thing I always try to say to young people is that you can have it all. You can have education, you can have marriage, you can have family, you can have career. You probably can't have it all at the same time. So work on it and enjoy it, certainly the way I have. I had an opportunity to speak to the graduates of the Walton College 2 or 3 years ago. And one of the things I got to tell them was one of my favorite parables, which is the parable of the lion and the gazelle. On the African savannah, the gazelle gets up every morning and knows it must run faster than the fastest lion, or it will be killed. The lion wakes up every morning on the African savannah and knows it must run faster than the slowest gazelle, or it will starve to death. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be running. So I say to each of you, when Chancellor Gerhardt and Chris Wyrick and the development team come to visit you, you better be ready to run with them so the University of Arkansas can be where it needs to be. A second thing that I want to share is all of you here, I mean, if there's someone here who doesn't know Frank Broyles, let me talk to you later. But Frank always gives the best inspirational speeches, and the one thing he does is convince all of us that we are or can be difference makers. And that's one of the things that I think is a challenge that we take with us. Along this way, Machiavelli said to us, there is nothing more difficult to arrange, more doubtful of success, or more dangerous to undertake than change. And change is what our economy is about, it's what our world is about. And again, I challenge everyone in this room to help the University of Arkansas do those things that change and make a better world that we have. I know that each of us can. And finally, one of those unusual opportunities, extraordinary opportunities, I was in the World Trade Center September the 11th, 2001. And when I came back home and they tied yellow ribbons around the trees and I met my friends and everyone was welcoming me and wanted to hug me and tell me how much they loved me and glad to see me, I remembered a quote that my son wrote on a paper in the 7th grade. His teacher had said, "What is life?" And my son wrote, "Life is a magical thing that was given to us as a present from God." I must tell you, I do feel that very, very thing. Life is a magical thing that was given to us as a present from God. Now, I am having a wonderful time. I hope that you are, and I hope that as you go through life, you have an opportunity to have those magical moments. I'm very honored to have this citation award. I'm very proud to be part of the University of Arkansas. I'm proud to be from Arkansas. Thank you very much. I have talked with Graham Stewart, and he promises me that Claudia is going to play something and that he will sing. So I'm holding him up on that.
Mary Ann, I let Claudia go. She's done. I'll have to come to the chancellor and give you a private performance. How about that? Actually, you all could come out too. We'll make it a big thing. Thank you. Our second recipient this evening has the distinction of blazing a path in public service. Montine McNulty has been the executive director of the Arkansas Hospitality Association since 1997. She used her library science degree to obtain her first job at the U of A library, but then her career took a different turn. In 1988, she was appointed by then Governor Bill Clinton to a 6-year term to the State Parks and Tourism Commission. That was her inspiration for her current career. 25 years later, she continues to serve as an emeritus commissioner. In her job, she also lobbies for hospitality and tourism while representing the second largest industry in Arkansas. An A-plus life member, she has played an active role in many organizations, including service as a current member of the Campaign Steering Committee for the Alumni Association, a past board member of the association's National Board of Directors, vice chair of the Council of State Restaurant Association Executives, member of the Strategic Planning Committee of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, member and past president of the International Society of Hotel Association Executives, and member and past president of the Arkansas Society of Professional Lobbyists. She is also a commissioner emeritus of the Arkansas State Parks Recreation and Travel Commission, secretary of the Arkansas Tourism Foundation, and a policy board member of the Southeast Tourism Society. Her advice to college students is to figure out what you love and then find a way to get paid to do it. Montine has certainly taken her own advice. It's my pleasure to welcome Montine McNulty to the stage to accept the citation of Distinguished Alumni.
Thank you, Graham, and thank you for this amazing honor. I do appreciate it personally, but I also appreciate the recognition for the industry that I represent and love. Graham said we are the second largest industry in the state, behind agriculture. We also are the first, second, or third largest industry in about 37 states. I have known and admired the other two honorees tonight, and they're truly outstanding. And I love being sandwiched between outstanding financial investment and a real American hero with real leadership success. That's really great. They are to be congratulated. The U of A has been an important first in many parts of my life. Graham mentioned it was my first job upon graduation. I also met and married my first husband, my only husband of 45 years, but I met him at the university, and he has been an important supporter and a part of my success. You know, so many people up here have mentioned the people that have helped them along the way, and I think everybody in this room appreciates that and understands what a difference that makes in your life. It's a great thing to be a mentor and to help other people along the way. Another first, I believe, my brother is here with me tonight, Louis Bowen, and he traveled this weekend from Hong Kong to be here with me. He also has received this award about 7 years ago, and I don't know this for sure or not, but I'm claiming it right now. We're the first sister-brother team that has received this distinguished honor. And if that's not so, somebody can tell me differently, but I'll declare it right now. Our family has had a history of support for this university. Our mother attended college here, and our grandfather was a member of the Board of Trustees in the late 30s and 40s. He actually was on the board during the time that J. William Fulbright was president of this university. He actually was one of the few votes to retain Fulbright as the president, and as most of you know, it was not successful, but he did go on to be a very renowned senator and was very important to this part of the state. So we're the third generation at the University of Arkansas, and we're very proud of that. We've been grateful for our education and also the magical experience that you experience by being a student here, getting a degree, but you know, that's the beginning of it, because it's a lifetime experience with relationships and friends and all the things that come with it. It's quite an experience. I too want to thank the Alumni Association for this honor, but I want to thank Graham Stewart and the director, executive director, for his extraordinary team. I do a lot of special events, and I understand the details and what it takes to do that. And they have just outdone themselves this weekend, but they do it every weekend, and they do it all year long, putting together events for alumni of this great university. And that's such a wonderful connecting force. So let's all give them a big round of applause for what they've done to make this a great event. I also want to mention, and I think I have appreciated scholarships and raising scholarship money for students in hospitality all over this state. And I think everybody here tonight supports and applauds their efforts to expand this event, but also make it as a benefit for scholarships, to give other students that experience, those memories, those traditions that make this university so special. So thank you very much for this great honor.
Our final award. Our final recipient, Lieutenant General Martin R. Steele, also an A-plus life member of the Arkansas Alumni Association, has a contagious passion for the University of Arkansas. Moving to Fayetteville at age 4, he grew up in the shadows of the university. In 1964, he started college at the U of A, but then enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. Serving in Vietnam the next year. Returning home, he was commissioned in the Marine Corps as a second lieutenant at just age 20. He also returned to university in 1972 to major in history as a non-traditional student. He served in the United States Marine Corps for 34 years, rising from private to 3-star general. During that time, he served 3 tours of duty on 2 continents, with tenure as the longest-serving Chief Operating Officer in the history of the United States Marine Corps. He culminated his military career as the Deputy Chief of Staff for Plans, Policies, and Operations at the U.S. Marine Corps Headquarters in Washington, D.C. in August of 1999. He's a recognized expert in integration of all elements of national power, diplomatic, economic, informational, and military, with strategic military war plans. He has served as an executive strategic planner, policy director in multiple theaters across Asia. After retiring from active duty, General Steele served as President and Chief Executive Officer of the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum, the largest naval museum in the world. Marty is a past member of the Arkansas Alumni Association National Board of Directors. In 2010, he returned to the University of Arkansas campus to share his life experiences with students as the association's inaugural Johnson Fellow. We are proud to have Marty return to campus once more to receive the Citation of Distinguished Alumni. Marty, please join me to accept this award. And as I've done with the other 2 that I've had the privilege, just calm down, calm down. Gets a little aggressive as a general. I have some quotes about Marty. We developed quite a friendship on the national board when I was first on it. When I think of Marty, I've got 6 points: motivator, historian, leader, patriot, warrior, and truly the general.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, John, for that very kind introduction. Like all the other people honored tonight, I truly am honored and humbled to be a recipient of this distinguished award. And I want to echo Montine's comments about the staff, Graham and John and all the people of the Alumni Association. I know you've done it once, but it's in my notes, and I would also like to ask you to give a warm round of applause for the Alumni Association for what they do for this university. I want to thank so many of my family and friends and key people who impacted my life as a boy growing up in the great city of Fayetteville, Arkansas, as a student at this university, and as a Marine husband, father, and grandfather. In my leadership consulting business, we measure leaders by their roles as teachers, coaches, mentors, role models, and evaluators. Fayetteville, the first integrated community south of the Mason-Dixon line after Brown versus Board of Education in 1954, and this university were filled with those leaders. Our community became a bastion of racial tolerance, love, and respect in a sea of racism, hatred, and bigotry. My older brother, John, he's much older than I am too, here with us tonight, was the quarterback on the first Fayetteville High School integrated football team led by one of the iconic figures of Fayetteville, Harry Vandergriff. We were imbued with values to not only know the difference between right and wrong, but also to have the physical and moral courage to stand up to the challenges of discrimination,
during those most turbulent times in our nation's history. The university, with its rich history of iconic figures such as J. William Fulbright fighting McCarthyism, to its legendary coaches and trainers like John Barnhill and Bowden Wyatt and Frank Broyles, my Little League baseball coach, and my inspiration, Bill Groundhog Farrell, our athletic trainer and baseball coach. His daughter Rachel, a woman I went from first grade through college, is with us here tonight with her husband, Larry McGrew, a high school and college classmate of mine. Jim McCord, a former city attorney of Fayetteville, and David Lewis of the famous Lewis family are here. We go back to Little League Baseball together in this great community. We were all inspired by the character of the deeds of those iconic leadership figures who always held us accountable for what we did and what we failed to do. My stepfather, a World War II prisoner of war, and my mother, a nurse for Dr. James K. Patrick, provided guidance and selfless love for 3 generations of our community's citizens. I am a passionate idealist. I fell in love at Fayetteville High School with a practical realist, my wife Cindy. Now married for 46 years, we have 3 children and 3 grandchildren. Our daughter, too, graduated from the University of Arkansas. Our son, a Marine Lieutenant Colonel with 3 tours of combat in Afghanistan, went here for 1 year but wanted to wrestle in college, and we don't have wrestling. And I hope to speak to John Long about that. When Cindy and I came to the Hill in 1964, I lasted, as John indicated, only 1 semester, and I enlisted in the Marine Corps. I immediately went to Vietnam, lost my closest friend in the first firefight I was involved in, was meritoriously promoted on the battlefield, returned, turned down an appointment to the United States Naval Academy in order to marry my wife because you can't be married at the Naval Academy, took a college-level examination test, passed, which speaks volumes for about the education I received in this great city, went to officer candidate school, and as John indicated, was commissioned as the youngest officer in the Marine Corps with a high school diploma, just having turned 20. After another tour in Vietnam, lots of night school, Cindy and I returned to Fayetteville with 2 children in order to complete our degree in history. It was an intense 15 months with 18 hours a semester and 12 hours during the summer. It was during Watergate, the demise of President Nixon, and the end of the Vietnam War. Dr. James Chase was chairman of the Department of History, and he taught American political parties. He's here with us tonight. He served as my teacher, coach, mentor, role model, and evaluator. And he still does that to this day. I studied under 12 different history professors who inspired me in everything from ancient Greece and Rome, Russian, German, and English history, the Renaissance, the Civil War, Reconstruction, the American South, Native Americans, World War I, World War II, and the Cold War. We thrived in both the classroom, in the faculty lounge, and even George's Majestic Lounge. We also won the only time in the history of the history department the intramural football championships, beating Sigma Chi. It was so much more than recorded facts. It was why. It was the ramifications of actions taken and actions avoided. The second and third and fourth order effects of historical decisions. The application to our current world. I was truly inspired at the University of Arkansas. Those professors shaped my life, my thought process, my role as a leader in the United States Marine Corps. What I learned here stimulated 3 master's degrees in public administration, international relations, and international security affairs. What I learned here prepared me to be the Director of Strategic Planning and Policy for all of Asia during the Clinton administration. What I learned here made me who I am today. My wife and I have moved 26 times in our married life. We have lived all over the world. Like everyone in my family, we fought in wars. I fought in 3. I pray for peace every day of my life. For me, Fayetteville, Arkansas, and the University of Arkansas was Camelot, remains Camelot, and I pray that it will always be Camelot. Thank you all, and God bless you, and God bless America.
The Board of Directors and the alumni staff consider the Arkansas Alumni Association's award ceremonies the premier event of the program year, as you heard from John earlier. It's a time for the U of A family to stand proud. This celebration is the result of hard work, commitment, dedication, and teamwork by the alumni staff, and you've heard that I didn't even have to say that, and I just said it because I'm reading it. But I truly appreciate the hard work and energy they do as well. We thank you for coming tonight, for celebrating with us as we honor these truly amazing individuals. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge those who served on the selection committees. These committees had an extremely difficult task to accomplish, and they did a marvelous job. I want to thank the Board of Directors Awards Nominating Committee who selected tonight's alumni recipients. Members of the committee present tonight are John L. Colbert, Don Eldred, Kay Goss, Charlene Reed, and Stephanie Street. Thanks also to the university's Faculty Awards Committee for their hard work in selecting faculty recipients. Committee members present this evening are Dr. Sharon Gaber, Deb Ucolano, and Debbie Bloom. Great job, everybody. As we expand our event, we were delighted to engage the support of many sponsors. A very special thank you goes to our evening sponsors, including the presenting sponsor, Fidelity Investments. We'd also like to thank Butterfield Trail Village, Bank of America, the Razorback Band Foundation, Cityscapes Magazine, and KUAF. Special thanks also go to our table sponsors, David Woolley and the Alma School District. I think I was saying Alma. Arkansas Hospitality Association, College of Education and Health Professions, the College of Engineering, Dale Bumpers College of Agricultural, Food, and Life Sciences, Ernst & Young, J. William Fulbright College of Arts and Sciences, and the Graduate School, Greenwood Gerhardt Incorporated, Mid-South Engineering Company, Office of Student Affairs, Sam M. Walton College of Business. So, believe it or not, it's 9:30, and we've come to the end of our awards program. Tonight, you have met 11 incredibly special honorees who are shining examples that the University of Arkansas educates and enables at the highest levels and produces exceptional graduates and faculty who reach the pinnacle of success while serving Arkansas and the world. We're very proud of the U of A family. Before we conclude tonight's celebration on the eve of homecoming, those of you who have attended this event before know we have a tradition of calling the hogs as we close, and to help us with that, we'd like to ask the MMM group, the Citation of Distinguished Alumni Award recipients, to come up here, stand right in front of the podium, right here. Stand right between these two white marks so we can get the spotlight on you. This is where we're going to put them. It's all good. Yeah, it's supposed to be there. Ready? Ready to call those hogs? Here we go. Ooh, come on, stand up, everybody. Hey, Suey. Thank you all. Have a fantastic night. Thanks for coming out. Go Hogs. We'll see you next year.